So you said that the text is true from 2,000 years ago, and I'm just wondering, is the Hindu text true from 4,000 years ago?
No.
Because they still exist.
And it's not about the text existing. It's not about the text.
So what was it then? What
the
is it?
Still exists.
What is it? So sorry. So what is it that's true? The text?
Did you hear me?
No, I didn't.
All right. All right. Do you want me to pray for your ears to be healed?
No, thank you.
But I'll be doing the same again. You'll not hear me again.
So listen, I'm confused. I don't understand. Can you break it down to me? Did you say the text is true because
the Catholic Church validates it.
Yeah, sorry. So the Hindus, they're validated by their text.
Which Hindus? They're not. There's a text. Every religion has its text.
Yes.
Okay. But if the Hindu religion can say, right, we've got in our text, they have there, for example, they're gods who come to earth. According to them.
Yeah, go on.
Gods come to earth, and they do all kinds of things. And the Hindus say, right, we believe in that. I'm not saying the Catholic Church is like that. I'm saying that when we as Christians say we believe in the Catholic faith, when we're discussing with other Christians, we've already got a basis that they believe in Christ. When I'm talking to an atheist, I go back and I say we have reasons to believe that God exists. But for those who believe God exists, we say we narrow it down to the Christian God, and we say, look at this, in these texts, we have something unique. It says that 2,000 years ago, a particular person died on a cross and rose from the dead. The Hindu texts don't have something like that.
Sorry, so is that the unique thing?
It's above all the unique thing.
There's no other historical figures that have died and rose again?
But not with eyewitnesses.
No. Hold on. In this case, we have it occurring at a particular historical time. The Hindu texts they're not historically based. They're events which happen in sort of primordial time.
I'm not primarily on about the Hindus.
Yeah,
what I'm saying, historically, are there narratives of death and resurrection?
Well, not as historical events.
There is the Gospels.
Only the Gospels have resurrection stories.
No, not as historical events. For example, Mithraism is a religion which predates Christianity and transformed itself over centuries. And by the time of the Christian era, it adopted many Christian elements. And then
Isn't it the other way around?
So they had Mithras, known as Mithras, became a dying and rising god in imitation of the Christians. And then you've got other ones where you've got like the ancient Egyptians, they have a dying and rising god, but it's not bound in time. It's a god who rises like the wheat, with the seasons. You get
so what I'm saying is, are there?
And then there's death in the winter.
Haven't the Christians plagiarised those mythical stories?
No, because there's eyewitnesses at the time.
Eyewitnesses of the death and resurrection of Christ.
Yes.
This is the point. The point is
the disciples.
The disciples were there when Jesus died and resurrected.
The statement is
all
this.
the disciples were there.
In those texts, this is what it says. These are historical events at particular times where people were present.
Did you say all the disciples?
No, you're all right.
Were they there when he died on the cross?
Yes, Matthew and John.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It says it in the Bible?
It says it in the Bible, yeah.
Is this true?
I know it's historical documents of the Bible.
The Gospel of St. John is written by an apostle, John. Matthew, written by an apostle, Matthew.
When's John's apostle written? When was it written?
That's another subject, we can go into that.
It was written 30 years after Jesus died.
Yeah.
In 1860.
First century.
When do you want it to be written?
Excuse me, because you're 19, 30 years is a long time. But for me, it's just yesterday. Are you saying I can't write a story about what happened to me 30 years ago?
It was written at the time when the eyewitnesses were alive.
I know, because we don't know when they died. We don't even know who Matthew Mark lived.
You're saying John's Gospel was written at the time when there were still eyewitnesses around.
What's John's last name?
on a young.
There you go.
Oh, okay now. Say we had the last name for John.
That means
Is that it? If you had John's last name, you'd be alright.
Is that the best you got?
Yeah, how can we look into John? How can we look into John? Isn't John the pen name? It's anonymous writers, no?
Plato is
No.
Hey, listen.
No.
We got John the Apostle, Matthew the Apostle. They're two eyewitness apostles. St. Paul writes in 1 Corinthians...
Eyewitness apostles, did you say? Of the death and resurrection.
The disciples.
of the resurrected Jesus. John of the death and resurrection. Matthew of the resurrection.
No, it's alright.
I've read my PhD on this. I've never heard that picture. That was a picture.
Thank you.
So,
He's
well, guess 1 Corinthians 15 at St. Paul. No, thank you. He says 500 people were eyewitnesses to the resurrection of Jesus. But what?
Name one of the 500.
Paul himself saw Jesus on the road to Damascus.
Name two of the 500.
Of the risen Jesus? Yeah. Oh, all the apostles, bar Judas.
We do, it's written in
Outside of his friends.
called the Gospels.
Why do you believe the
Okay, the
Because they're
centurion.
historical. There's no
Who's at
one
the
that's...
foot of the cross.
One
There's a
centurion.
lot of written.
Anyone of
Well, he was responsible for the cohort that was there to ensure the crucifixion went ahead.
500 people saw the resurrected Jesus.
St. Paul 1 Corinthians.
Did they know Jesus previous?
I don't know the
Some apostles, as I've said,
Yeah.
some
His
disciples.
mates.
Yeah, but Nero had
His mates. His mates.
description.
It's quite cool.
The one to wrote letters himself.
You give it some grandiose name, the apostles. It's just his mates, no?
Jesus didn't make
Followers.
I don't mind you bringing it down to earth.
Yeah, please.
Okay, now here's another thing. This is an interesting thing. More interesting really than the point.
More interested in the resurrection of Jesus.
Listen,
You're laughing too easily. You're not a comedian.
You are the comedian.
I think I've got some gifts. I'll bring them out.
Not very good ones.
He's such an influential person.
Now,
I think the
in the 1st century AD and the 2nd century AD, you have writings which have come down to us of those who are followers of the followers of Jesus.
Cults.
So what we'd say is, I told you not to. So what we say is this,
several years
that
after they died,
the earliest
and you don't have the original material.
layer of documents all testify
Whoa. Documents from where?
from the 1st and 2nd centuries AD.
Yeah, from where? What's the source?
Well, you've got all the 27 documents of the New Testament, like 1st century documents. Then you start getting writings about the apostolic fathers. And then you get those who are called the church fathers. In the subsequent centuries. These all testify to Jesus of Nazareth having walked the roads of Palestine, died on the cross,
Again, the fathers.
miracles,
Is there any
risen from the dead,
independent contemporaries?
and being God. Now, if
Did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I said?
I'm ignoring it. Now,
Why so? Why?
because I'm finishing my point. Let anybody, some people are Harry interrupt me, I never get my words out. I have to moderate something. I have to moderate matters a little bit. I do stop. Now, in these documents, if there were 1st century documents which denied this, said, oh well, he wasn't really in Palestine, oh he didn't really exist, or he didn't really work miracles, he didn't die on the cross, he died like the Jehovah's Witnesses say, on a pole, mistake, or he was stoned to death, as the Talmud says, stoned to death.
1 second, again, 1 second. You're running away again. You're rambling again. You're talking about the biased opinions
So by the
of his
earliest layer of
friends.
documents, they testify consistently to the claims we make today.
They
And
testify.
if they do, they all testify consistently to the central claims.
Why is it gonna be?
Lends credence to the
Credence? What
claim
credence?
happened in the 1st century AD.
My mate Jesus.
Now,